Look, I understand in a one-game situation that anything can happen, especially when you got a guy like Steph Curry on one side of the ball. He's playing arguably the best that he's ever played in his career, so he's certainly capable of getting hot. He's on a hot streak. But the fact is the Lakers are the far superior team. Far superior. All right, we know they're only playing this game because their two best players have been injured for half of the season. So I expect the Lakers to come out and win. They've got the best player on the floor. With all due respect to Steph, who's the greatest small player, greatest shooter of all time, LeBron James is the best player on the floor, and he will be tonight. They've got the third best player on the floor in Anthony Davis. And then they've got great defense. They are going to defend the Golden State Warriors. Dennis Schroeder will hound Steph. That doesn't mean Steph won't get his. Steph will get his. But Dennis Schroeder will be a pest. He will be that gnat that you got to keep swiping at because that's what he does a lot of times. And I just think they've got the formula to beat Golden State. So I expect the Lakers to win. Look, Steph has averaged in 3 games against the Lakers just 3 points a game this season. That's the third lowest against any team he's faced more than one time. So the Lakers defend him as well as you can defend a guy like that. And look, I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is a wildly competitive game. I hope it goes down to the wire. And I wouldn't be mad at all if Steph worked a miracle and beat the Lakers tonight. But my feeling, my expectation is that Lakers win fairly handily.
Wow, fairly handily. Okay. I think there are a number of scenarios, Broussard, that the Lakers should fear, which is why we created America's favorite scary segment. Drum roll, please. Nightmare Fuel. Oh, with the Nightmare Fuel music. It's everyone's favorite. It haunts you while you sleep. What are the Nightmare Fuel for the Lakers? The first one is playoff mode Warriors. Steve Kerr said, guys, we got to start playing. They said, all right, let's get into playoff mode right now. They're 15-5 in their last 20. Oh, scary. Watch out, Lakers. Reason number 2. Who's back from the ghost of basketball past? It's Davidson Steph, who gave him 32 during the tournament. What's he averaging now? 32! David. And you know what? Usage rate through the roof. And you know when we talk about vintage hip-hop, what do we talk about? Like classic backpack rap? You know what I'm talking about. Backpack three-pointers. Vintage Draymond. Nightmare for the Lakers. He's shooting 44% from 3 in the last couple of games. What is going on there? And finally, this is not too scary, but it gives me another chance to talk about music. This one's, Canada. There's 2 Canadians you need to worry about. Aubrey and Andrew. Andrew had 38 points the other day against the Suns because they tried to shut Steph down. And Aubrey, Aubrey, you never know if he's a Warriors fan or not because he obviously likes the Raptors, although he does have a few Warriors tattoos on him. He's out there drinking Los Lobos. Oh, boy. This is never good. It's never good. LeVar, I'm all for relaxing, but Aubrey has always got something up his sleeve. And I know this also doubles as a tequila commercial for LeBron, so he's still winning here, even the idea that we have to talk about it. Savvy move, but I would be very, very worried. In fact, I'd be terrified if I was the Lakers with their ghost of Davidson Steph carrying them to a victory tonight.
Wilds didn't say it. Those pictures are from last night. So that's the relevance to it, is that LeBron was drinking with Drake last night. Go ahead, LeVar.
The problem here, Nick, with Wilds is his whole horror story and haunted house is that this is like a spoof. This is like the Wayans brothers doing Scary Movie. Like, this isn't the real one. This isn't the real Freddie. This isn't the real Jason. We're talking about comedy here. Why? Because it's a horrible matchup for the Golden State Warriors. I will say this. Jenna called money on the Celtics. I said that this was a horrible matchup for the Celtics versus the Wizards. I was wrong. The only problem here is is that when I look at the main characters that are in this horror flick of a game tonight, the worst villains are on the Lakers side. And that's just the bottom line of it. If we're speaking in Nightmare and in Elm Street terms, or any of those type of deals, the ghost of Sleepy Hollow. It's not even Halloween, but I'll tell you what, it will be a freak show tonight. And all 5 of those Lakers being back on the court, I think that's going to be too much for Golden State.
That's right. Listen, and Broussard brought up Steph's struggles against the Lakers this year. How about Steph against the Lakers since LeBron joined the team? Show his numbers. I think these will shock people. What team has Steph played the worst against? That's 7 games Steph has played against the Lakers. He's averaging at least 20 against every other team in the league. It's his worst three-point percentage, field goal percentage, and points per game against everybody. LeBron has played in most, but not all of those games, it should be noted, because 2 years ago, obviously, he got hurt during their Christmas Day game. So it's not just a LeBron thing. This year, Dennis Schroeder, to Broussard's point, has defended him incredibly well. And that doesn't even bring in the Lakers' biggest advantage, the overwhelming size. The Lakers can play AD and Drummond at the same time and get every rebound. Or they can play their best lineup, which is AD at center, and that totally neutralizes what the Warriors want to do with Draymond. So you're it's kind of, left you lose, right I win. There's no good counter here for the Warriors. So I want to ask Broussard a question I brought up at the end of yesterday's show. And people think I'm being a hater with the Warriors on this. I am not. Everybody loves the play-in as long as the Lakers and Warriors both make the playoffs. Tonight's game's going to be awesome, but if we end up with San Antonio as the 8 seed instead of the Warriors as the 8 seed, that's a huge bummer for basketball fans in the league. So I do want the Warriors to advance to go on to play Utah. So here's my question, Broussard. How tight of a leash should Steve Kerr have if this game looks like it could be getting out of hand when the Warriors have been going full throttle for 3 weeks just to get in this spot? And if they lose, they have to play again on Friday with their season on the line, potentially against Memphis, a Memphis team that took them to the wire just a few days ago. Like, if you're Steve Kerr, I don't think you can quite treat this like a Game 7, because it's not a Game 7, and you might have an actual Game 7 against an inferior opponent, and you need to leave something in the tank. Do you think that is going into the Warriors coaching staff mind at all? Or are they like, you know what? If we got to play Steph 44 minutes, we'll do it? Because I don't think that would be the right approach.
Look, if it's a close game and they've got a chance to win, then play Steph 40 minutes, 40 plus, if that's what's necessary. Same with Draymond. But if it's out of hand in the third quarter, and it's clearly evident you're going to lose late in the third, then you probably start your big guns in the fourth, and then if you can't make a run, then you just rest them, and maybe those guys play 30 or fewer minutes. So I hear what you're saying, but I don't think the Warriors feel like they can't win. I don't think they're as pessimistic as you and I are about their chances. And we saw the first game of the season between these two teams. Steph came out and did get hot in the fourth quarter, had a great run, and we know they upset the Lakers. Granted, regular season game, but again, in a one-game scenario, anything can happen. So I just think they have to watch how this goes, and if it's evident you got no chance of winning, rest your guys.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.